ਓਪੀਏਟ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਸਿਸ ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਅੱਜਕੱਲ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਬਣੀ ਪਈ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਓ ਅੱਜ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਐਲਨ ਗਲੈਸਰ ਨਾਲ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੋਲ 4 ਡੈਕੇਡਸ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਦਾ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਹੈ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਫਾਰਮਾਸਿਸਟ। ਕੀ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ, ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਡੀਲ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਅੱਜ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਆਓ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨੇ ਆ ਐਲਨ ਗਲੈਸਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਮਾਰਕ ਫਾਰਮੇਸੀ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਆ ਕੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਐਲਨ, ਵੈਲਕਮ ਟੂ ਦ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ।
Thank you.
Thank you. Opiate crisis is a major issue right now in Canada, and especially in BC, we have seen thousands of people who have died. From your perspective, how do you view this particular issue?
Well, the interesting thing to me is the response that my patients are having. So my patients who are on opioids, legitimate, they have prescriptions, they've had it for years, are finding their doctors are decreasing the dose. The doctors are not prescribing it, and that's leaving them in pain. Let's look at the statistics. Statistically, recently, they've come out to say out of over 1,000 people who died from opioids overdose, 85% was illegal drugs. Illegal drugs.
Right.
We have no control over that in terms of doctors or pharmacists. Only 15% of the deaths were from legal prescription drugs.
Right.
So the government, in its wisdom or not, has decided that we're going to restrict prescribing of narcotics
Okay.
to decrease to 15%, the tiniest bit
Right.
of people who unfortunately died taking prescription medications. What's that left the average patient who has, remember, been on these drugs for years? Well, they're being left in pain. And my patients have told me that some of them, either themselves or their friends, are now seeking out sources of illegal pain medication just because their doctors have stopped prescribing it.
Right.
The College of Physicians and Surgeons has come down on any physician because they can see who's prescribing narcotics. We have a computer. Every time you fill a prescription in BC, it's registered with the government computer.
Right.
And the College of Physicians and Surgeons, or the College of Pharmacies, has the right to go in and look at people's prescribing habits. And they've done that.
Right.
So obviously no doctor wants someone looking over his or her shoulder
Right.
on every prescription or have to justify it. They don't want that in their life, so they just have stopped. And that's left people in pain.
Right. So, but the question is that, as you said, 85% of the deaths which are caused by a particular, what drug is that which is causing these deaths?
It's illegal fentanyl.
Okay.
Okay, that comes in pill form.
Right.
That people choose to get high. And if they do it wrong, unfortunately they die.
Right. So now, because you talked about this college of physicians and surgeons, when they are reviewing this doctor's narcotic prescribing habits, what is the consequence of that?
Well, the doctors have to write a letter and justify it. Now, imagine if you're a physician, you're seeing your patients 5 or 6 every hour. Now, after a busy day, you have to take out time to look at another chart or multiple charts and spend another hour, 2 hours responding to the inquiry.
Right.
You've done nothing wrong. You're just doing your standard of practice that's been around for the last 40, 50 years.
Right.
But now they're looking over your shoulder. What happens then is you stop prescribing it because you're having to do work of which you do not get paid to respond to your college, right? That stops the prescribing habits. So what I look at as a pharmacist, knowing that why do these narcotics work in the first place? Well,
Right.
our body can make its own endorphins and kinins. This is
Right.
own narcotics.
Right.
That's why these narcotic drugs work, because we already have a system
Right.
that responds to narcotics.
Right. So basically now these opioids mimic, the naturally occurring chemicals in the human body.
That's right.
So what can be done naturally to produce these so as to avoid pain?
Okay. It's a great question. Anybody who's been physically active in sports or runners, especially runners, when you're going for a long run, typically people say they get their second wind. Well, that's really what happens when our bodies, so when you go in a stressful physical condition, your body will start to feel pain. You'll come to a point where the pain seems to disappear. That's when our body's making its own endorphins and kinins, which are like narcotics,
Right.
to kill the pain to allow you to carry on your physical exercise.
Okay.
So one physical exercise will increase, endorphins and kinins. Two, we have the ability, actually it's interesting, through meditation.
Okay.
Okay, naturally, we know that meditation will help you decrease your pain.
Right.
Okay, it's been well documented. And third is we have a device called transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation. It's a TENS machine.
Okay.
It's people have heard of Dr. Ho machines, kind of like that, but we can put in a frequency into the joint. There's four little pads,
Right.
little square pads. They'll stick to you. You can put these pads around the area that hurt. You can turn it on so it stimulates in a very short time our own production of endorphins and kinins. These are our own opioid narcotics. It'll give you pain relief,
Right.
usually for several hours. Second thing is we can, everything is coming through our spine. So we can actually block the transmission of pain nerves to our brain, because we experience our body and the messages all come into our brain.
Right.
Well, if we can block the transmission of pain, and that's what we can do
Okay.
at the spine level,
Right.
and you put a couple of pads on your back, around your neck, across your spine, and you turn it on, there's a frequency on the TENS machine that will block the transmission of pain.
Okay.
So there's the two ways. One,
Right.
there's frequencies that create our own painkillers.
Right.
And two, you can block the transmission of the pain to your brain, because we're
Okay.
experiencing our whole world to our brain. If we stop the pain transmission, you and I would not feel that.
Wow. So basically, these services are available at Mark's Pharmacy, and people can take advantage of this and get some relief from this pain instead of taking these illegal drugs. It's better to come over and take these natural way stimulators by which they can relieve that pain.
Yes.
Okay. Another thing is, while we have talked about the 85% the drug which causes these deaths, what about the other 15% which people take as overdose and then they have issues?
Well, the 15% are all the oxycodones, hydromorphones. Those are the names, the drugs, even straight codeine.
Right.
And of course, any narcotic, if you take too much, it causes respiratory depression, meaning you stop breathing.
Right.
The drug is so powerful, it turns off your breathing center in the brain. And we do now have, fortunately, a naloxone kit that will be available to the public at just about any pharmacy. It has a free kit to hand out if you are at risk, or you know of a family member who is at risk
Right.
taking narcotics, then you can get a naloxone kit.
Okay.
So
Oh, that's wonderful. So if anybody wants to, get these services, where can they call you?
you can phone at Mark's Pharmacy,
Yeah.
604-596-1774, or come to 80th Avenue and 120th Street in North Delta.
Wonderful. It was a pleasure. Thank you for being here and explaining this major crisis, what is happening in our communities, and how naturally we can come out of this issue. Thank you very much for your time.